My friends, thanks for joining. Is a new episode. I will talk about health in general. So, disclaimer: I'm not a doctor. I don't have any entitlement to suggest whatever, and so I just explain what work for me. So, we will talk about health in terms of diet, well-being in general, especially for an expat that is moving abroad. So the first mistake is to assume that how you eat in your own country is okay for whatever country. When I moved to Ireland, I was eating like an Italian, but the weather was way colder. I didn't move too much because outside it was raining, when you are trying to adapt to a new life. And the amount of carbohydrates and pasta wasn't good at all. So I'm loving my pasta, and I'm not saying I'm not demonizing carbs or whatever. It's absolutely important. All athletes are having 50% of diet on carbs. What I'm trying to say is you'll find yourself abroad to eat stuff that you've never been eating before. So I was lucky, never got allergy, so everybody is different and is a topic that is a bit complicated. But in general, for example, I never tried porridge in my entire life. So when I moved abroad and it was the common breakfast, it was something different for me. And what I'm suggesting is try to think. What I found really useful is are those kind of apps with a scan. You just scan the barcode of all products, and they give you the stats on how much is carbs, protein, and whatever. And that was a big help, something that I never knew before, and it worked out quite well. Plus, generally, when I change country after 6, 7 months that I'm in a new diet of a place because you buy new stuff, do the blood test is not too bad, just to see if it's all okay with a new style that you are taking. But there is another topic that is really important about health. Everybody's telling you to do exercise, to do whatever, but when you change weather, it's terrible. It's terrible because you need to adapt. Uh, if you come from a sunny place, don't see the sun can be a problem. Let's skip the conversation on vitamin D and all other. But I'm talking also on exercising. For example, if you are outdoory and the weather isn't good, you are not inspired to move too much. So you need to get into a new lifestyle. But it's also so funny because I see all these YouTuber with unbelievable big flats doing push-up in the living room, and the reality is that probably you live in a shoebox. So something that I'm suggesting you, rethink, force yourself to get out also if the weather is terrible. If you notice whatever country, if the weather isn't great, they don't care. They just got out. And that's the best suggestion that I can give you for based on my own experience. So don't let the weather to drive your habits. Just do what is right for you. And if it's raining, do it. Get out anyway. You need it. So retune yourself, but don't let the weather to change your habits in a way that you don't move, for example. At home, organize the spaces to have a bit of gym is quite tricky. Now we are in COVID, and so there are tons of YouTubers that did a lot of videos about it, exercise, whatever. What worked well with me was elastics. Whatever design of a house you have, if you travel, because it happens also to travel a lot for work, and so it's difficult to have an habit and a routine. Elastics are really easy to carry on. You can do it everywhere. So elastic, squatting. I mean, you can have a small place, but in vertical you can move. So and try to get the best out of a place that you can. When I started to buy some weights, I was collecting weights and it's a pain to carry on. What I found really good, at least in my case, are those weights with a wheel that you choose the weight. And so are the one that you just select how much weight you want. They cost a bit more, but are a big saving in terms of space and so far good. The only cons of those is that they are a bit longer, and so in certain exercise, for example, when you rotate and you have both, the two head can bunch each other. So think about it. If for me it was the elastic and the weights were really good deal. Other things about weight, health, each country is different in terms of health system. If you have something specific, look after that topic because you know better than everybody else. But don't expect that abroad they have the same system. So what I notice, even across Europe, is that the blood tests get stuff done privately depends from country to country. Most of the time, the GP is having a really big role. So find a good GP is always the first thing that you should do. Not just for the sake of the process, but because most of the time, to get access to something, you need their agreement. So in some places you don't. Like in UK, you can go privately wherever you want without the GP approval. In some other country, you need the GP approval. So stay focused on register, get the GP, the good GP. That is a challenge sometimes. Uh, Another topic is if you don't speak the language, when you go to the GP and you talk about body, you miss the dictionary and is a challenge. So prepare yourself because even if you have a good English wherever, it will be a challenge to express what you want to say sometimes. And for the rest, nothing. Look after yourself. Try to not get the weather to decide your habits, and keep it up. Okay? Take care. Cheers. Bye bye.